Okay, hey team, hope you're all going well. So this session will focus on the REDCap contact tracing form. Just before we start off, we'll just recap on the scoping session. So we had a confirmed case of COVID-19 reported to us. It was an overseas acquired illness. The case lives at home with one flatmate, so the case has one household contact. The scoping form was completed and household contact details entered into the scoping form, which meant that I have then received a link to the contact tracing form. But just before we go through the actual contact tracing form, I just wanted to quickly explain what happens in the background. So scoping of index cases completed, the demographics of the household contacts and other contacts are entered as appropriate. And contact group type is identified. So this is quite important. So when you are asked for for contact groups type, we would like that you ensure that the date and time of exposure is the same for all. So it'll be for all the household contacts of that one case, the date and time of exposure to the index case is all the same, so that when the scoping form is completed and the data is exported from REDCap, they are all put into the same contact group in NDCMS. That's similar with other contacts. So, for example, in this case, our case has met with one of her friends for lunch at a cafe. So when we are asked for the date and time of exposure to the case, to the index case for that other contact, the date and time needs to be the same. This is so that they can all be grouped as one contact group. Okay, so then the non-institutional contact NDCMS entry form in REDCap is populated with demographics of exposed contacts and sent to SSOs for entry into NDCMS. Once that's all completed, a link to the contact tracing form from REDCap is sent to the case and contact management team for completion with the exposed contact of the case. Alright, so what has happened is I've completed the scoping form, and then you will receive an email that looks very similar to this. So it'll be from capture-mail@esr.cri.nz, and it just simply says that this here is the link to the contact tracing form for Karen. So if I just click on that, cool, and then continue to this website, we have our contact tracing form. This is what it looks like with our logo at the top, and then a quick blurb on what we expect you to do. All of Karen's contact details are here. Again, so that we've put this at the top so we don't have to be fluffing around trying to find contact numbers and things like that. It's just right there at the beginning of the form. We'll then enter today's date last exposed, and because she's a household contact, I am going to put in today's date, and then we're going to confirm her demographics with her. So yes, and say her last name is actually spelled with a C, not a K. We can add that in, and then this would be amended in her initial form. But today it is actually with a K. So date of birth is 13th of the 2nd, 1992, that's correct. And then her age is pre-populated there. Okay. NHI. Karen is female, and she is Rarotongan. Yes, she's a New Zealand citizen, and her number address is 40, I don't know, 40 Road. And so, her phone number, we can copy and paste that from up here. Again with the mobile number. Yes. And make sure that we put in email address. Also, you have to excuse me if you hear some construction noise outside. Where my room is right next to the apartment building. Is Karen in any of the following occupation settings? Actually, Karen is an accountant, that's right. So that is none of the above, but if she did work in the education system for some reason, we could click that and then further details would pop up there. Same with healthcare and aged care. However, for today, I'll reset that, and that is none of the above. She is an place of work, and that'll be name of location, sorry. So her employer would put employer name there actually. And then the address is 111 Curry Road. If they do have an additional job, we would put that here as well. Name of usual GP in practice. At Epsom. Alright, so this is our script, if you may call that you would read out to the contact, just explaining who we are, where we're based, what our role is in terms of COVID-19 and contact tracing, and what information we'll be collecting, why, as well as what law we're operating under in terms of COVID-19 and contact tracing, as well as privacy and confidentiality as well. Cool. So we would then ask if they have any concerns regarding their privacy and confidentiality. If they said yes. Also, Karen has no underlying conditions, and if so, assessment, is she still feeling unwell now? We say no. Does she have? So does Karen have any welfare or cultural requirements? Yes. Actually, no, reset that, we'll say no. And then we can submit that. Again, we'll take note of the return code if we need to, so you can either add that as a progress note, and then we would download the PDF copy of our contact tracing form, which would end up looking a little bit like this. Something like this. And we would save this as an attachment in Karen's exposed contact file on NDCMS. So that's the end of what we would do in terms of contact tracing and using our REDCap forms. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to come and see either Taylor or myself, Tamara, in room 12 on level 1, or just flick us an email.